Tonight, our first two guests are the chairman of the Young Americans for Freedom. He's been on Fox News multiple times. He's known on campus and national news for his newly selected pronoun, His Majesty. The other political guest is a political director of the College Republicans here on campus. She created and sent the Google document #NotMyCampus to President Schlissel, containing over 325 signatures of Republicans alike across campus, protesting his seemingly biased stance on the election results on Wednesday. Please welcome Grant Strobl and Amanda Delekta. Thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you, thank you. So I want to start off, we're on a predominantly liberal campus. What's it like being a conservative leader on this liberal kind of campus?
Well, it's a bit like being the sane one in the asylum. I'm just kidding. It's actually pretty fun. I really enjoy it because, quite frankly, I learn way more about my viewpoints and about others' viewpoints when my personal viewpoints are challenged all the time. And it really makes me have to research and think. And the great thing about the University of Michigan is I've been able to think so much about my personal beliefs that I've become stronger in my conservative beliefs. And I'm really excited. I'm glad to be here.
Nice, nice. So, or you can answer.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going off of that, I would like to reiterate that I personally don't necessarily feel like a political leader on campus, but more just a student who wanted to have her voice heard and was very frustrated feeling silent after the election results. And if I could be a voice for many, many students who feel the same way, then I'm humbled and honored to do so.
So when you guys were making the decision of what college to go to, did that play, the liberal campus play any part? Like, did you hesitate at all, or were like looking forward to it?
I was active in high school, so I was looking. I always look forward to having my opinions challenged, and you know, I had a choice between going to Hillsdale and going to the University of Michigan. If I was going to Hillsdale, we'd be having debates about Protestants versus Catholics, and to me, I think, and that's no fun. I'd rather be here and really engage in all of the tough debates and dialogue that are here. And honestly, I never would have changed a thing.
So kind of piggybacking off of that, you created the, like I said, the Not My Campus letter to Schlissel and just the campus wide in general. You know, everyone since the election a lot of people have been in shock and dismay and have had fear coming out of it, but you guys as Republicans seem to have felt like you're attacked at the same time. Can you give everybody a little background on why you started that and maybe a little bit of your sentiments about it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I would like to first start by urging anyone who hasn't already had the opportunity to read through the personal statements to do so, because I will not be able to do them justice right now. But my frustration came with the dialogue that was in every single one of my classes, focusing on stereotyping conservatives as racist and sexist. And the dialogue started with this biased lead, and it didn't give students who felt the other way a safe space to come forward and share our beliefs. And to me, that was wrong. And as a university, we should be fostering a really great dialogue about this election, because there are issues to discuss and students who have a multitude of ideas, and that wasn't happening. And so I was concerned about that. Going forward, I was really encouraged by the outpour of support of students who felt comfortable signing on to the document. I thought that was really inspiring, and some of the statements they shared were completely different experiences than I had and were really eye-opening to me as well. That being said, it was almost more moving for the students who reached out to me and were scared to sign on. We're scared to attach their name to the email in fear of how their peers and instructors and friends would treat them going forward. And that really resonated with me, because no student should ever feel that way about their convictions and beliefs. Even worse were the students who gained access to the Google Doc for the pure reason of sabotaging it. No one should ever feel as entitled as to silence another person's voice. And I thought that was horrific. And so the whole purpose of my letter was to initiate an open dialogue and a conversation on campus where everyone can feel safe sharing what they believe. So I hope the administration takes that seriously, and that going forward there can be a better conversation on campus and a more productive conversation on campus.
Well, look, it's a sad reality too of politics these days. I had serious security concerns for my house. I had people chanting expletives outside of my room, and now the police the University of Michigan police is reaching out to me and meeting with me, and you know, going to need to develop a security plan. And it's a sad reality. It's happening on both sides. And hopefully, as we're going through this election cycle, we're going to come out and be the true Wolverines that we are and discuss and debate issues like adults. I really believe that we can do that.
What do you say, you said that you have to develop a security plan now. You're kind of feeling that your views have been oppressed. What about the people, many minorities across the whole entire nation that feel like they're being oppressed? Because I know like a lot of people say like I didn't vote for Trump because of his social views. It was like I agree more with him on a financial perspective, economic perspective. What do you say to the people who took the social part of it to heart, and that's the only thing they took to heart, him being sexist in a way, him being racist, if you want to call it that, him being xenophobic? What do you say to those people who feel like their lives are in danger, their viewpoints are kind of stifled now?
Yeah, absolutely. I would encourage anyone who feels that way to engage in the democratic process. I think that is the best thing about America, is no one is too small to be heard. So whether it be you write a letter to a newspaper, you contact your local legislators with questions, concerns, engage. Make sure your voice is heard, because everyone has one.
So as a woman though,
Yeah.
and after hearing many of Trump's sexist comments, what do you like? Were you ever hurt by that? Or did it ever really affect you?
Absolutely. I would like to start by saying some of the comments he has made are horrific, and I have been very shocked and hurt by some of them. But that being said, I based my vote on issues, and I researched his policies, and I looked at the beliefs and the convictions that I hold very close to who I am and my identity. And when I cast my vote, I did it based on those issues. So I do not believe he is a perfect candidate. I do not believe he's going to be a perfect president, but I don't think that perfect candidate or president exists. And so I think you have to weigh your convictions, and you have to make a compromise, and you have to make some concessions in that decision. And it's a complicated decision to make. And so to sit there and judge someone based on that decision without trying to understand their identity, I think is where all the hate is coming from right now. So I think we all need to sit back and really respect each other's backgrounds and identities to create a more peaceful environment.
Like I said before, a lot of your press and publicity have come from you changing your name or your pronoun to His Majesty. That's to speak out against, if you're transgendered, however you want to call it, changing their pronouns to Z, like just different things of that nature instead of he or she. A lot of people feel offended by it. What do you have to say to those people who feel offended because, that is their viewpoint?
Yeah, and I'll clarify a few things here. His Majesty obviously isn't a pronoun. I'm not stupid. I totally get it. But the point here is it wasn't supposed to, and the intention never was. This is a policy argument. It was never intended to insult or demean anybody. The truth is I love all people. I respect all people. And I believe the humans are the treasures of the earth. Really, they are. However, I thought this policy was a huge slippery slope. And if you could have an option of 20 pronouns that aren't standardized, why not 30? Why not 40? Why not 50? Right now, obviously English language evolves, but we haven't settled on a gender neutral pronoun yet. And that's a simple reality. And when you have a bias crime hotline that could punish students if they refer to somebody in the wrong way, it creates a chilling effect on our campus. It creates a chilling effect on speech. It creates a chilling effect on dialogue. I urge students to kind of sit back and think about respecting each other. And if you want to be referred to a certain way, if you have a nickname you want to be referred to, if you have a pronoun you want to be referred to, I can just have that personal conversation. However, when you have an institutionalized policy like that, I think it's a really dangerous, slippery slope. And really, at the end of the day, if this idea was so great, we wouldn't need to force people to do it.
So there's been a lot of tension on campus. Yesterday, there was a reported hate crime. The Rock, when a lot of things went around about how The Rock was painted the other day. How do you think the two sides can come together and now move forward through this process?
Absolutely. So first of all, I would like to say that my heart breaks for the woman who had to go through and be the victim of that hate crime yesterday, because it's horrific that anyone in our nation has to be victimized like that. And it is in no means a representation of the Republican Party, of conservative ideology, or of the candidacy of Donald Trump. Anyone who hides behind a political candidate like Donald Trump or anyone else is a coward. That being said, moving forward, as much as I would love to encourage everyone to keep an open mind for the first year, 6 months, or 30 days of his presidency, I understand some people on this campus and nationally feel like they don't have that luxury. And for those people, I encourage them to once again get involved, to engage, and to fight to have their voice be heard.
Well, we hope that they can be able to do that. Thank you
Absolutely.
guys so
Thank
much
you, yeah.
for coming today.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Yes.
Thank you too for joining us. We hope your efforts and work will lead to a more unified campus, something we all truly want. Up next, we have 2 more guests who lean more to the left altogether, from the environment to women and minority sentiments regarding the election. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
Thank you.